If you look in the owner's manual of any vehicle made during the past 20 years, you're going to notice the belt replacement interval. It could be as high as 80, 100,000, or 120,000 miles. How is this possible? If that original belt did not last the mileage in this owner's manual, well, you really need to do some homework and inspection to make sure that that replacement belt will last just as long as the service interval listed here. You need to inspect the entire drive belt system. You need to look at the crankshaft pulley, you need to look at the idler pulleys, you need to look at the alternator, and also the power steering pump, all the areas that the belt makes contact with. If one of those pulleys has grooves in it, you need to make sure that you clean out those grooves of any debris that is lodged in there. If this is not done, that new belt, well, it's not going to be able to rest in the grooves as well, and it's not going to be able to grip the pulley as well as the original belt. The next thing to look at as part of your inspection is look at the belt when the engine is running. Make sure that there's no extreme flutter or noise coming from the belt area. If this is the case, well, you may need to recommend a new tensioner or other components on the drive belt system to help quiet that new belt down. Once you turn off the car, well, take the belt off the engine and the drive belt system. Look at the entire run of the belt. Look at the grooves and look at the edges in particular. This will give you an indication if there is an alignment problem with any of the pulleys. With the belt off, this is a great opportunity to check the alignment of the pulleys. For instance, during that 100 or 120,000 miles, the alternator might have been replaced, or even the power steering pump. If that was not properly replaced and the alignment of the belt is off, well, you could have issues. It's key to check the alignment of these pulleys with either a special tool or a straight edge. The belt isn't the only wear item on the drive belt system. Idler pulleys, tensioners, and even decoupler pulleys can wear out in the life of the belt, and it's critical that you renew these components so the new belt can last just as long. If you look at the replacement interval, not only do you see mileage, but you also see a time period. If a vehicle has low miles, but the belt is at that interval period, you may want to replace it. Simply because underneath the hood of a car, it's a very rough environment. Hot and cold and heat cycles damage the internal chemistry of a belt and also the structure of it. It may be a vehicle has very low miles, but it's experienced a lot of heat cycles where the owner has gone a very short distance, where the engine has warmed up and cooled down, more than a belt that may have gone 200,000 miles. So on that rare occasion that you get a vehicle in your shop where the belt has failed before the factory interval, you need to do some detective work. Inspect the entire drive belt system, and before you throw a brand new belt on there, make sure that that drive belt system is just as good as when the vehicle rolled out of the factory, because you're putting your reputation on that belt.